guys, welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Nasaya and I'm back with another video. So today I'm going to be talking to you guys about some veins and the type of veins to go for maybe different age groups, and or how to potentially bring a vein up to surface and things like that. Just a bunch of little different tips, so bear with me in this video. But before we get started, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel so you guys can help me out so I can go ahead and upload more videos for you guys. And other than that, let's just go ahead and get right into the video. Alrighty guys, so this is going to be my arm. I hope I'm not that ashy. But yes, so this is my arm. I'm just going to name the veins that we have, or that are right here in this area. So we're going to have the basilic vein right back here, and that's going to be near your artery. This one is definitely not your first choice whatsoever. You want to definitely go for the median cubital vein, which is going to be right here. This is going to be your more dominant vein. This is going to be the more easier vein to get to and most safest, because you have an artery back here. You don't really want to, you want to save this one for last. So like I said, this is going to be your basilic vein. Then this is going to be your median cubital vein, and then this is going to be your cephalic vein over here in this area. If you just kind of palpate, you'll feel the vein in that area, but that's going to be your cephalic. So okay, again, so the first vein you're going to go for is this one. Then you want to try to see if you have this one right here. If none of these are an option, then yes, you can go for this one back here. But like I said, you want to go very pretty much like slow, and just make sure that you don't feel no pulse. When you feel that pulse, that's when you know that that's an artery, and you want to anchor your needle away from that area and or away from that artery. So you want to just directly go straight in the vein and then just stop, because you don't want to puncture that that artery by accident. Alrighty guys, so now that you have your pretty much your tourniquet on, you'll have your tourniquet above it. You want to do about 4 inches away from your actual spot, and that includes also in your hand. If you're sticking in the hand, you want to kind of go up in this area right here to give you some space to be able to pop the tourniquet, and it won't affect, you know, the skin here, you know, because if you tie it here and it's tight and you're going in here, once you pop it, that may disturb the needle in there. You don't want to end up blowing the vein, causing no hematoma or anything like that. When it comes to patients who are pretty much a hard stick and or their veins just don't come up, once you put that tourniquet on, it should definitely bring something up. If it doesn't, you might want to go in and get like a heat hot pack where you can squeeze and pop, and it'll be nice and warm, and you'll be able to lay it over the area that needs to be where you kind of potentially see a vein, and or maybe you just don't. A lot of times veins aren't as popping as normal or as they should be, but most of the time if you start to flick that vein, once you put the tourniquet on, the vein should pop up. But if it's still not popping up, you might want to just go ahead and have them make a fist and just start kind of like tapping at the vein. Not too hard, because obviously you're going to be flicking it, but you know, flick it, you know, from the side, just to kind of get it to like kind of pop up or whatever, and everything like that. And eventually you'll start to see it pop up and everything like that. And that kind of goes for any vein. You know, once you start hitting it, that vein will surely start to pop up, and you'll surely see it and everything like that. Also, I want to show you some veins, because I know in my career, there's a lot of people out there that really are like hard sticks. I'm talking about like they don't have nothing up here, you can't feel it, or it might be really deep and you just don't feel comfortable with sticking it, and or they may roll really bad, or maybe you have stuck them there and the vein rolls so bad that it's just impossible to get that vein. Yeah, so some tips for that specifically. When it comes to rolling veins, you want to definitely make sure you have the tourniquet on there. Make sure you have identified the actual vein. You want to make sure you leave like, you know, like a little mark here in your head, like, okay, you know, the vein is right here and I feel it, and just pinpoint something on that skin or in that area where you know to look and put the needle in. So say if they have like a specific line there, you know, or something to identify where to go directly, and I would just touch, because obviously you don't want to touch the area that you're going to put the needle in, because you have to wipe it with alcohol. But once you've touched it, you wipe it down with alcohol, and you've identified, okay, maybe, you know, this line right here specifically, I will know that right below it, that's where I'm going to be sticking. So that's just one tip. 2, you want to make sure you are anchoring the skin down, like pulling it taut, 1, to make it hurt less, 2, to make sure you're keeping the vein in, you know, in order, to make sure you're keeping it, you know, right there. There's a lot of veins in people's hands who have like really rolly veins, and sometimes you can probably like put one of your fingers here and then stick. That's not the safest way because you don't want to end up sticking yourself with the needle, but to kind of like anchor it, and once you kind of get the needle in and you see that flash, if you're using a butterfly, then you'll move your hand or whatever really quickly and just start inserting the tubes, but just kind of anchor it because you have to hold the skin down either way. So if you anchor it, you know, at a nice area and try to keep the vein, you know, you want to pull as tight as possible to keep the vein from moving around. But that's like another tip. Alrighty guys, so when it comes to trying to find other veins, there's all different types of veins. Like I've stuck people like in this area, you know, like there's veins everywhere. You will find one. You just kind of got to take your time with it and everything like that. I kind of want to specifically speak about sticking people right here. A lot of people kind of get scared when it comes to surface veins. This I would definitely consider a surface vein because it's at the surface and you're not going to be going in with the needle as you would up here. At all. You would probably pretty much go in with the needle as you would with like in the hand, because you don't go in and anchor like this in the hand. You go in pretty much just like that in a sense. So for example, if you're going in, you know, with your hand, you want to just, you know, do everything like that, and you're gonna go in just like this. You see it's kind of at an angle and you just go in just like that and everything like that. But if you're going in with this type of vein, as you can tell, if you're gonna get this one specifically or something like that, you're gonna go in pretty much flat. You're not going to come in at an angle or anything like that. You're gonna go in right in there just like that. Just slide that vein in there, or that needle in there, right there, until you see that flash. I promise you will. But yeah, so just like that, you just go in and you just slide right in, and it'll be that, literally that easy. Alrighty guys, so when it comes to patients who are on the heavier side or just more weighty, you want to, tips that have helped me when it comes to bigger people, is to tie 2 tourniquets around their arm. Yes, it is going to be really tight, so you go ahead and forewarn them, hey, like da-da-da-da. But the point of a tourniquet is to make sure that the vein pops up and to help cause that pressure build up. So by putting 2 tourniquets on there, it's going to help with that, I promise. Also, when it comes to a patient holding pressure, you want to make sure they're always holding a fist and not pumping that fist. Pumping that fist is not going to work, nor is it beneficial to the patient or their health. Alright guys, so when it comes to the elderly or geriatric patients, you want to make sure that when you're tying the tourniquet, you want to do it over the clothing. If they have clothing on, hopefully they do have clothing on, or their gown, just tie the tourniquet around their gown to prevent their skin from snapping or burning or bruising or anything like that. It's also helpful when it comes to them to use hot packs to help their veins come up. You can flick or you may rub the skin a little bit, but like I said, their skin is very fragile already. So you want to do minimum, you know, patting, touching, and things like that. Alrighty guys, so when it comes to babies, me personally, if they are under the age of 1, you want to definitely make sure that you are sticking the baby in their heel, doing a heel foot puncture. Now, if they're over the age of 1 and they're pretty much may not be walking, but if they're at least 1, you're able to stick the baby in their hand and or in their AC. Now, when it comes to the babies, you want to definitely also make sure that you're only using a butterfly needle that is the size for a infant or a baby, because of the fact that it is a small gauge. You do not want to be sticking a big needle in a baby because you definitely will blow it and or may definitely miss it and cause harm to the baby. Alrighty guys, so that is pretty much it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I would love for you guys to stay tuned for the rest of the videos that I hope to upload soon. Don't forget to comment, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell notification button so you guys can get updates on when I upload each and every time. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for more.